let's get to some different stories I have to talk about here. We talked recently about speaking of suicide, about the suicide of Reddit co-founder Aaron Swartz. And part of the context of that suicide was that he was being persecuted for taking countless journal articles, academic journal articles through JSTOR, and there were some who said that what he did was not even illegal anymore, and some saying that what's going on here is overzealous prosecution, even though he had already basically settled the matter with MIT and with JSTOR. In any case, we now have Anonymous getting involved, and the internet gathering known as Anonymous, some call it a hacker activist group, some call it a hacktivist group, kind of the same thing. Some people just call it Anonymous. That's all it is. They have taken over the website of the U.S. Sentencing Commission to, as they say, avenge the death of Aaron Swartz. And they put out a message which says in part, Anonymous has observed for some time now the trajectory of justice in the U.S. with growing concern. We've marked the departure of this system from the noble ideals in which it was born and enshrined. We have seen the erosion of due process, the dilution of constitutional rights, the usurpation of the rightful authority of courts by the discretion or prosecutors. We have seen how the law is wielded less and less to uphold justice and more to exercise control, authority, and power in the interests of oppression on personal gain. So, the hackers are saying they've infiltrated a bunch of websites, that they've copied a ton of information that is secret. They're threatening to make it public. And by mid-morning Saturday, the website in question here, the U.S. Sentencing Commission website, was already offline. The FBI's Richard McFeely admitted that they are investigating what's going on here, that they are considering it a criminal investigation, and that's that. What's your reaction to this, guys? I mean, I've said many times, I don't endorse doing illegal stuff. And that's kind of as far as I've gone. And that being said, there are times when different things happen that are illegal, particularly when it comes to hacking. And I'm not going to go out there and advocate for the prosecution of anybody. That being said, as far as I go, is I don't endorse or suggest to people that they do illegal stuff to make points. What's your reaction?
I also would not suggest or endorse illegal activity, but I'm not going to condemn it either. I just don't care. I think it's entertaining when Anonymous does stuff like this. I'm all about transparency, and sometimes this is the only way you can get it.
Before we comment from Natan on this, I'll read you two very different emails that I got about this, completely opposing views. One person said, "Don't make folk heroes out of these anonymous guys. Stealing information to extort others, even if it is the government, is plain wrong. That's just like someone that doesn't like me hacking my computer and threatening to spread my personal stuff all around." The counter argument to that was another email I got, which is, this is the right course of action. Not taking guns against the government, but presumably doing it through what I guess are considered nonviolent means. What do you think, Natan? Which side resonates more with you?
Well, I put civil disobedience and breaking civil laws as a totally valid form of protest, at least from a moral standpoint, and even from a legal one in terms of the possible penalties. But criminal violations, I think, are inherently very risky, and you have to know if you're going into it as a protest move that they could even single you out in terms of trying to make a point by giving you an even more serious penalty than would be expected.
Which is kind of what was going to happen potentially to Aaron Swartz, which is why this is even all happening.
Right. Although there was an analyst I heard on NPR the other day, I don't know too much about the specifics of this case, but he was saying that, what the government was investigating was essentially what was indicated in this type of crime. They weren't really singling him out, but I guess that's what the FBI is trying to find out now.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to condemn these actions. I'd be curious to see what they uncovered.
You don't care about the means so much as you're interested in the ends.
I guess you could say that.
But at the same time, you don't endorse the means either.
Right, but it is nonviolent, and I don't see how anyone is going to get physically hurt.
I think this is going to become an issue, though. This idea, increasingly, when everything goes through computers and the internet, the idea that things that happen through the internet are by definition nonviolent crimes, that's going to be a question mark.
Well, look, it's not like Anonymous is hacking the bank accounts of the Westboro Baptist Church and taking all their funds away, their personal funds. I mean, they're just making information public and making some information, taking that out of the public view.
This is very controversial, and I know we're going to get a lot of views on this. And going forward, anonymous and internet-related, technology law are both going to be huge topics, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.